Hi, my name is Alberto Hernandez.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Erin Cortez Sanchez.
Hey everybody, my name is Ernesto.
Hello, my name is Mónica.
Hi, my name is Etienne Romero Garcia.
Hello, my name is Daniela Rubio.
Hello, my name is Abraham Yael Galavicedillo.
Hello, my name is Maria Jose. We are glad to be here introducing you our teamwork titled Home as a New School Space. First, we are going to talk about the observation as our main tool for teaching practice.
Next, we are going to analyze how the interviews are used to know the way the students are living their school or living their homes.
Then, considering the interviews, of course, we are going to emphasize how the students see their academic development. Of course, then we are going to interpret their words.
Finally, we are going to give some final comments.
Hi, we tell you about the elements for observation, establish rapport, communication, listening, being listen to are they skilled, balance between have to ask question, the investigation had its confidentiality are linked to the interviews. Observation technique is a set of tools designed to evaluate a phenomenon in implies a way of approaching the subject to understand the context in which he lives, study, procedures, and environment.
Well, what about observation registry? In words of Taylor and Bogdan, the observation registry is a detailed description of scenarios and positions of people, provide general information of participants' activities. Well, the last but not least is the construction of the observation matrix, and it's one more step into the research as a process. Likewise, is the systematization of the obtained notes during the observation, and it's a process of raw notes to cook notes. That means the categorization of personal notes, methodological notes, and theoretical notes. It is characterized by analyzing in columns how many times it has been observed, and what are the research questions and the area to which they belong, who are the participants, and what are the type of notes that previously were mentioned.
Now we are going to talk about the interview, and let's start by explaining that it is a dialogical and discursive meeting that allows the obtaining of qualitative data with a specific objective. This means that through a direct approach to the interviewee, based on a conversation full of discourse between both parties, it will be possible to learn more about the reality. So when we talk about the interview, like a technique and its elements, we can say that in this part we consider procedures and resources such as the basic principle of cooperation, a rapport, shifts or participations, scenography, and the interview script, which are used in specific spaces and times, and which allow modifying the interview, which makes it flexible and dynamic.
Well, we have to know the interview involves a discursive conversation process, which is divided into two kinds of discursive genders. The first one is known as daily communication, with an informal speech using talks to friends or relatives. Meanwhile, the second gender uses a formal and complex dialogue as a journalistic or literary speech, only to mention one. In this case, as Arthurs mentioned, an interview has to be fluent. Finding out exchanges in a kind of language is usually an informal way depending on the rapport previously created with the interviewed, thus generating a comfortable environment that also allows a correct development of the interview. Finally, we're going to explain the process used in our report. As we said before, this interview was based on a report that allows to know how the students have been getting used to taking place from home as a school or place. First of all, we interviewed children/teenagers between 6 and 15 years old, taking this point as main approach. We try to encourage them to be more cooperative and avoid their silence after they give us their answers. using a friendly voice and making easy questions to receive clear answers.
Now we're going to talk about how students feel in this new normality. We have 10 categories. Those categories were the most relevant in all the interviews we had. Eating, the best thing in the whole world. Subjects, friends or enemies. What's going on with my teachers? How are my classes and how many students are at home? In the first one, students express that in this way of taking classes, they can eat when they want to do it. Subjects, friends or enemies. Students can see some advantages, however, they have some troubles with the teacher's indications about how they have to do the task. What's going on with my teachers? Here, the main idea is how students have communications with their teachers and the problems that sometimes they have. How are my classes? Students say that virtual classes are really difficult and sometimes are really boring. And how many students are at home? Now, their house is their new school space, and sometimes they have to share it with their siblings.
The other is, what do I do during my free time? For them, listening to music or doing some sports distract them a little from the routine of digital classes. This makes them have a time relaxations. And the other is the new school resource. The useful ones are no more digital than physical, and this had good bad things for them. The TICs are managed in an educational way. So now, users to attend my classes. Students declare that the common problem they encounter is their internet connection and battery of certain device. The one more is how support me at home. Their company provides the context is that of their mother or brother Fairfax, not practical, but if they are around them or also take classes, it's probably. And finally, what I miss the most is they feel free and stressed, but they enjoy their new school space, which is the home where they have a freedoms, eat, go to the bathroom more times, and the others.
Finally, in the research process of this work, we observed that the way in which elementary school students took classes changed drastically due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, it is important to mention that the students, on the one hand, have been favored by the fact that now their new scholar space is from their homes, because at the time of consuming food is no longer a stipulated time. Now, it can be whenever they want without waiting for the order of a teacher or a particular schedule. They also like to spend more time with their families, but on the other hand, the way in which have been started by the pandemic has been affected. The way in which they are learning has been damaged. The overall homework they have from their teachers and with in the those generated by the syncretic way in which the parents now take to rule over teachers and keep on over the situation of the home as a new school space is that not all the students have access to the necessary tools to take online classes. Also, eating is important for the students in order to pay attention to their classes or being indulged with their relatives.
Okay, according to the experiences of the students that were interviewed, we could identify what are their meaningful ideas and of course their interests. So we conclude that personal and creativity recreation are very important in order to have an integral development as a human being, especially for teenagers. On the other hand, the context of each student is very different, and the facilities and or the problems they may present every day are the proof of their radical changing that they had to make to keep up with their school life. In other words, they are being resilient. However, the resources or the economical context are not the same for each student, which apparently makes education a privilege instead of a human right. We also believe that the competences of management of technological items and educational platforms have made students responsible for their own education, which includes their tutors or parents to be committed as well. Nevertheless, teenage students have a lack of socialization and communication, which can cause them several trouble with expressing their ideas in the upcoming future.